door. Day 2, Mae Hong Son loop, Mae Chaem to Mae Sariang. Back out of the village. Lovely place, Mae Chaem. Sawadee Cup. Morning. It's 7 a.m. Woke up about 5:30. Didn't see anyone from the house awake. They don't get up so early, Thai. If it was Vietnam, they'd have been up since 4. Past the post office. It's monk o'clock. Monks are out doing their rounds. Young monks, novice monks. Temperature is a lovely 23 degrees. It's cool, it's cloudy, misty, that'll burn off. I suspect we're in for another blue sky day. Similar distance to yesterday, 130 kilometers. However, a lot more climbing. Over 3,000 meters. My gamble at the guest house paid off. Not only did no one else appear in the dormitory, no one else appeared in the whole guest house. There are very few people out and about, I think. Need to change gear. It's rainy season. Chiang Mai has just had the worst floods in living memory. A lot of tourists have sadly cancelled their trips to Chiang Mai, I believe, which is a shame because a lot of the areas they would have stayed in and hung out in were completely unflooded. Although I know the trains were having problems and the buses, but flights were always coming in. Anyway, be that as it may, I don't intend to book ahead. I'll just turn up, see what is available, see if anyone else is around, but I suspect very few. As well as telling me what direction to go in, my bike computer gives me a lot more information, including a list of upcoming climbs, so it can be handy to know what is coming. It shows it both as a sort of profile map that I can zoom out on, so the camera picks that up, but also as an actual list of climbs. So it says there's 19 climbs today. Next one is 12.6 kilometers long. Then there's a 19 kilometer one, and then later on I think there's a 9 kilometer one. Not super steep, but that average gradient doesn't always tell the story, and in fact Thailand, it normally doesn't. There'll probably be little bits of downhill and flat in those, meaning when it does go up, it'll go up steeply. So we're in for a climby day. I can see above the mist is blue sky, so it's going to get warm, but I don't think it'll get crazy hot, and we should be up at some sort of altitude for much of the day. Let's just check that. Yeah, up to 700-800 meters, so that'll definitely take the edge off the heat. And again, the road goes up. Dog just lying in the middle of the road. Sorry, doggy. I've already had one dog chase this morning and a cow chase. Cornfields as far as the eye can see around here. However, corn or maize is a slightly problematic crop in this part of the world because each of those individual plants produces, I think, only one cob, and there's a lot of plant for one cob. The problem being that once it's harvested and left for a little bit, they set fire to it and burn it. That really doesn't help the pollution issue in the north of Thailand. There'll be a little burning rice crop, corn crop in a few weeks, the sort of early season one, and then the main one comes sometime February, March. There is a restriction now on when they can start burning, but the problem seems to go a little bit deeper than that. Anyway, for now, no burning. Climbing up into the mist, into the cloud. We are just over 500 meters of altitude, a few hundred more to go. Sawadee Cap. Cabbage fields, cabbage pickers in the mist. Temperature a very cool 20 degrees. You feel it on the downhills in my sweaty jersey, but I don't suppose I'll be getting a lot of sympathy from the Western Europe part of the world. Ghostly papaya plantation. Looks kind of weird with the mist. Sun's finally burnt off that morning mist. 9 a.m. now. Temperature's going up, but it's still very pleasant. Been riding for nearly 2 hours, so next time we go through a little town or something, or I see some shops, I'll stop and get a drink. I've got some cow niao, some sticky rice, so can tuck into that. Had a little bit of breakfast at the guest house, some instant ramen, 2 slices of rather thin bread and 2 cups of Nescafe. So fairly meagre fare, but it'll see me through until we find a place to stop. Little mom and pop store. Get a bottle of Sariang. Try and find a snack. We're right on the river here. Still flowing strong. Polar sponsor. Pack of sticky rice. A couple of little bags of cookies. Unfortunately, there's no one around, so I'll just leave them 20 baht. That'll cover it if no one appears. We're on the main course of the day, a 19k climb, although a little bit easy at the beginning, a little bit easy at the end, so more like 15, 16. About 800 meters of ascent. Sun's out, it's not too hot. I'll fuel this climb, it'll take me probably an hour, hour and a half. I'll fuel this with sticky rice and cookies, and then once we get over the top, we'll see about finding some proper food. For now, I'm not too hungry. I got water. We're about 1,000 meters up now, so we're into the pine trees, which is lovely, all around. I just went a little bit off-road to see this little grove of pine trees. A little bit downhill, last little bit of climbing, and then we're at the summit of this climb. At the top of the climb, and I just remembered last time I did this was actually the whole day for me. I got to here and called it a day. I was moving a lot slower on that hybrid bike. But for us today, we've still got 65k to do, so we've done about half the distance, but we've done pretty much 2/3 of the climbing. So I think you'd have to say we've broken its back, but there's still a bit to go. 65k, another 1200 meters of ascent. Bit of a descent, but not massively. We stay high on the ridge, just rolling for a while. Yeah, next village, small town. I'll look for somewhere to eat proper food. Okay, here it is. That's some omelette with some sort of meat in and rice. Perfect. A little bit of soup. Could do with a few more condiments, like a chili sauce or something, but I found some dried chilies. Can of Coke, fill up my water bottles for free, and I think it'll come, I think the meal is 50 baht, which is just over £1, so all good. And then back to the climbing. Bath time. Still up in the pine trees, still up above 1,000 meters. Good to get some lunch inside me. Even basic food, omelette and rice, does the job. Feel more energized now. We've probably got, I'm gonna say 3 hours to Mae Sariang. Bit of work to do in the hills, and then the last 10-15k is downhill and easy, so a couple of hours of hard work, and then we should be in Mae Sariang, I'm going to say by about, say 11:30 now, 2:30ish, something like that. Certainly plenty of time to have a rest, eat more, wash my kit, dry it out, and edit some video. Okay, rolling terrain ahead. At the top of another climb, police checkpoint. Normally a place to get a drink, so I might stop for a quickie. Into what should be the final climb of the day, and it's a pretty easy 2-kilometer one, nothing too steep. We've done, by the time we get up this, we'll have done nearly 3,000 meters of climbing, which is a fair old whack. Same again tomorrow. Actually tomorrow's even harder and the day after, so we're in for a rough ride. Conditions perfect. It's clouded over a bit here and there. We're over 1,000 meters, so although it's the middle of the day, it's not super hot. Temperature is, well, 32. It doesn't feel like 32. I think that probably my computer's been in the sun a little bit. Feels more like 28, 29, 30. Not too bad. Into Mae Chaem after a fantastic 20k, very fast downhill, overtaking vehicles, bends that you almost didn't have to brake on. Really good. So we've got to find somewhere to stay. Of course, it's only 2 p.m, plenty of time. Food, stay, rest. I was going for an evening walk, sunset walk, and came into the local temple, and there's something going on. I mean, it's not unusual that there's some sort of festivity in the temple. It's every other day. But it's a nice temple, and big bonus, they gave me some free food from this nice lady. Yeah, I got invited in for free vegan food. And there's some sort of event going on in the inner sanctum, so we'll go and have a quick look at that. Just enjoy these 2 pagodas. Day 3, I'm up, still just about light out, just coming. Wanted to get jok for breakfast, which is like rice porridge, but the jok place is closed, so it's green curry and rice. One in Rome, one in Thailand, curry for breakfast. At the hotel, at the marker, 46 kilometers to the Myanmar border, but 165 to Mae Hong Son, and that's where we're headed. So it's a big old day. 165, about 2,600 meters of climbing, so slightly less than yesterday. I'm starting early, it's like 6:30. Had my green curry over there, ready to go. Just stopped for a quick coffee at 7-Eleven, so 6:45 we're on the road. It's a day of continual ups and downs, no big climbs, but my computer lists 35 different climbs. None of them seem to be longer than about 4 or 5k, and some of them quite short, but that's still twice as many individual climbs as yesterday. Only 10 minutes in, we're into the first climb, first of 35, whatever it was. Yeah, if you don't like climbing, I'd say the Mae Hong Son loop possibly isn't for you, because it's, if you're doing it like I'm doing it, 5 days, minimum 2,000 climbing, and sometimes a lot more. So tomorrow is slightly shorter, but slightly more climbing, 2,800 I think, and then the final day similar, but a mere 2,200. So 5 consecutive days like that. It's going to sting the legs, I'd say. They're already stinging. Fellow cyclist, first I've seen in days. Swadee Cup. Not touring, local. Out for a spin before work probably. Through this lovely teak forest. And that's the top of that one. One down, 34 to go. Conditions are like yesterday, a bit misty out, but I can sort of sense there's blue sky above that. Temperature now is 23 degrees, very pleasant. We are not going to be at such altitude today, we're sort of going to be hovering between 300 to 600 meters, so heat will be more of a factor. I'm carrying 2 bottles of water as usual, no food, because there's always places for food. Thailand's a very easy place to bike tour, like Vietnam. The word for hungry in Thai is hiu. The word for water is nam. The word for thirsty is hiu nam. So hungry for water. Little restaurant, coffee shop I was passing, I'm not going in. But beautiful water lily pond. And this little bridge across, very sweet. Temple dogs, here they come and running. 9 a.m, sun's out, seems to be the witching hour for the sun. Coming into a little village I've been riding just over a couple of hours ago. So if I see a little mom and pop store, I will stop for a cold drink. And there is one right there. Got my sponsor, some little cakes, grand total about 80p. Yeah, sun's coming up, it's going to get warmer. So far it has been up and down and up and down. I think that's going to continue until Khun Yuam, which is in about another 50k, and there we'll get a proper meal. As we start heading north towards Mae Hong Son, the scenery starts to change. It does get more hilly and mountainous and better views, which is another good reason to do it clockwise, I say. under 100k now to the target. I've already been riding a few hours, so another 100k seems quite a lot, but 28k till luncheon, so an hour and a bit. Still a few more climbs to go. Up and over the highest point of the day, only a mere 600 meters. Now a descent and into Kunyam for lunch. Much needed. Getting hot out here, and thirsty and hungry. Into Kunyam town. If you wanted to do slightly slower approach to the Mae Hong Son, this would be a good overnight, so you'd have an easier day today and an easier day tomorrow, and it's exactly what a friend of mine, Vad, did recently. He took a break here. Let these ladies cross the road. Very simple establishment, just riding past, and sorry. Chickeny curry with rice. Vegan place is closed sadly, so chicken curry it is. Fill my water bottles. I think it's 40 baht, so just under £1, always cheaper. And then we've got about 65k, 800 meters climbing, so 2.5, 3 hours. Shouldn't be too bad, but it is getting warm now. Anyway, let's eat up and then crack on. Man, that was good. Lunchtime curry, second curry of the day. See if we can get the hat trick when we get to Mae Hong Son. Guzzled about 1.5 litres of water, filled up my water bottles, and we're good for the second part of the trip. Yeah, 63k, few little climbs, nothing crazy. Legs are feeling, I suspect they'll hurt more tomorrow. Day 4, that's when it really kicks in. The rather unusually named village of Ban Mae or Microwave. Microwave, they mean more like sort of dishes, I think. But there is a nasty little climb up to the Microwave village that very few people have done on Strava. I think only 10. I had toyed with doing it, but I have to say, it's the middle of the day, it's kind of hot, it's a very steep 7.7k climb, and I think I'm going to pass on it. Sorry, I know you like to see me suffer. However, I've got another tour lined up in a few weeks probably, and I think I'll try and incorporate the Microwave. So hold your horses and we'll do it at some point. Ooh. Well, this is exactly where I took that photo all those years ago. Wow. That could be the best viewpoint of the tour. Interesting road sign and symbol, but the Karen, as it's pronounced, is one of the indigenous groups in Northern Thailand, where the women have elongated their necks by using metal hoops from a young age. Personally, I have very little desire to go up and gawp at them. I mean, if I happen to stumble across a sort of indigenous village, yeah, I'll enjoy what I can see, but it strikes me as a strange sort of day out, but each to their own. There we are. Welcome to Mae Hong Son. The name of the town, name of the province. It's quite a big town, it's even got its own airport. Not international, I might add, but yeah, I think you can fly there from Chiang Mai. Certainly used to be able to. Mae Hong Son Lake and Temple. It's a beautiful little town, quite dramatic. All the tourists go to Pai, they love Pai, and Pai has become over touristed. I don't think that many tourists come here unless they're riding around the Mae Hong Son loop, but it's quite impressive. Well, I went to look at another place that I hadn't stayed in before, but it looked a bit sad and sort of closed up, so I've come back to the place I stayed last time. I got a feeling I was in that room, but this time I'm in 115. Very simple. He told me to bring the bike in, which is great. I mean, it's a bed, it's a fan, it's a bathroom. 350 baht, so that's like
£7 for the night. I'll take that. I'm only here tonight, and then tomorrow I've actually booked something in Pai, because Pai can get busy. Anyway, for now, usual story: shower, rest, eat, repeat. Whew.